What is going on, everyone? It's been a minute since we've done this live thing, and it's been a minute since I've had a moment to myself. So I'm not sure how many people are going to show up. I'm so inconsistent with this, so I'll start with the pleasantries, and then we'll jump right into the nitty-gritties. So as you can see, it's a completely new setup. There is a ton of new things that are happening. 1 within my life, 2 within this room, and 3 within the room that's going to have all the tanks. So it's absolutely insane how life is right now. I don't know if you can hear me really well. I'm trying out a new microphone action, so we will see how it goes. But I've got the old, oh, look at that. Little whiskey and Coke Zero. Oh, yeah, she poured it strong. So let's talk about the nitty gritty before I jump right into what this is all about, because there is something that's happening in the aquarium industry, and it's really affecting us dramatically. And it's going to affect us for a very long time unless we figure out a way. It's kind of twofold. So let me start by saying Sundays, the videos are coming out. They haven't stopped. So after this live, if you're done, you're bored, do me a solid and check the live video I did on the Ark in Indiana. These store visits are kind of my favorite. How do I say it? They're kind of my favorite to do because I get to show you things that I do on a daily basis. And to me, it's pretty epic. And then let's see, Mondays, the lives, I'm going to try to do them when I'm on the road. It is very difficult because you can't plan what you're doing. So I just don't know the best way to, I don't know, give you that information. I don't have this huge following or whatnot, but it is what it is. And then Thursday is going to be a kind of just raw, uncut, and I'm calling it Aquarium Uncut. And it's whatever's happening throughout the week that will come out on Thursdays. There's 0 edits. There'll be a title intro, and then it's just a straight run. I have no idea what just happened to my camera. I have no idea. I don't know what's... See, this is the type of stuff that bothers me because I never know what's happening. Well, let me see what happens here. Isn't this good? Could be like a podcast. There we go. So I have no idea. This is a new camera I'm using. I'm really testing. I tried testing it all day today, and I mean, it's charging. Everything's good. Whatever. Anyways, if it goes blank again, I'll keep talking. There'll be no skip. Somebody says, it feels like I'm going to cry. No, I was just putting together a grill, and it's a 4-in-1 grill. It's got an electric smoker, an offset smoker, charcoal, propane, which I'm converting to natural gas. I was literally just doing that, and I came rushing in here. I haven't had a haircut. If you know me and you watch my videos, this is ridiculous. So yeah, this is crazy. This is clearly crazy. But I'm getting a haircut tomorrow, which I'm leaving Wednesday for the Carolinas. Again, this is it's a thing. This move in, do the whole thing. So Sundays videos hasn't changed. Mondays, I'll do as many lives as I can. Thursdays, Aquarium Uncut. It is what it is. It'll come out. It'll be on my feelings. And then I got some stuff in the bag, little mixture, but I'm having a problem in the fish room, the aquatic layer, the aqua lounge, the glass box lounge, whatever we're going to call it. But I'm having a problem. It's way too hot, even with the fans, to put any reptiles or amphibians, mainly dart frogs, right? So I've got to figure that piece out. So I called HVAC system. HVAC said, I don't know. What did they say? Oh, $4,000 for a split mini unit with heat pump. For $5,000, I can get a small unit, just like my large unit for the house, for $1,000 more. To me, I'm sure that that's what it runs. Absolutely absurd. So when I get back, I'm going to be installing a portable unit because I don't need the temperature to drop much. I just need the temperature to drop 5 degrees, and that's tested when it's 103 degrees out. So inside, it's about 85 degrees, and I need it to come down to 80, but this unit will bring it well down. I just have to get it installed. So lots. And then I got an aquarium coming at the end of the month. And then I got another aquarium I'm picking up at Aquashella Dallas, which is the Halloween weekend. And Liam won't watch this until he's older, hopefully. But we're taking him to Disney for Thanksgiving. I'm planning that. I've got work. There's a lot of stuff going on. So let me see what's happening in the comments. Not much, just everyone saying hello. I kind of figured this would be a slow-moving live video. So let's jump into the topic. And if you have questions along the way, don't hesitate to ask. It's perfectly fine to just ask away with Jay right here, right smack dab in the middle of the comment section, and we'll do our best. What, 85 degrees? Do you lounge in your underwear? No, 85 degrees is hot. That's 85 degrees in the room. And it's a garage. It's a separate garage. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Ted, Judy in the house. Somebody's blowing me up here. We need to figure out what's happening. So yeah, I got to install that AC to bring it down. Hey Jay, on the mini split, if you know someone in your area that has HVAC experience, you could easily get a mini split installed for under $2,500. That's what I figured. I appreciate you being a member. I don't do much as far as the memberships go, but what the memberships have been doing is helping me progress in terms of the quality of equipment, content, and things that I'll be purchasing for the live area, my office, and the aquarium room. So has anybody purchased an aquarium lately? Has anybody purchased any aquarium food, filters, any aquarium, I don't know, what's the word? Device, piece of equipment? If you had, you need a cooler fish room. I have a house for sale in Wisconsin. No. So if you have, Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, you the best. Are you the best? So if you haven't noticed, the price of goods has gone up dramatically. And maybe, here we go, not just aquarium goods, but goods in general. Man, I apologize for this inconvenience, but just goods in general. And those goods in general come back to aquariums. And what I mean by aquariums is the industry itself. So let me put it into perspective. You walk in to pick up an aquarium, and I'm just going to make up numbers. And I'm talking local fish store. I don't think it's really impacted the big box retailer yet, but it will. There's no question. So you walk into a local fish store pre-COVID, you would purchase an aquarium. I'm making this up. $100 for this aquarium, whatever size it would be. Well, that said aquarium today is not going to be $100. And if it is, then your local fish store it doesn't have a lot of time left before it's trying to figure out, I don't know, anything. Before, if they want to stay in business, they bring on new products with good margins. Everything's good, right? Right. But now they're running into really a huge problem. It's a roadblock per se. It doesn't have anything to do with, I don't want to say it has anything to do with politics because there's probably some politics tied to it. But here it is in a nutshell. A 40-foot container. Now, I'm just using one example, not to make it complex. A 40-foot container pre-COVID. Does anybody want to guess if I was to purchase all the cool stuff Jay Wilson was purchasing, and they were bringing it from overseas, right? I'm getting all these fancy rocks and fancy decor, right? I'm purchasing it. I'm telling you, go buy it, man. It's the coolest of all times, right? And a 40-foot container of all of these goods, can anybody tell me what the cost is pre-COVID? So Krager's Fish said 6,000. It's actually high. It was right around $4,000 on average for a 40-foot container. It's now currently over 500% more. Over $20,000. Abby Sam 7 said 5, now it's 20. It's actually over 20, and here's the issue. It's probably going to go up a little bit more. Now, I was doing a little bit of research. There's an accumulation of a lot of different things, right? There's shipping space, which is containers and how many are coming back in time to refill them up. And then there's ports, COVID, right? There's all these jobs per se, and nobody's really taking those jobs because there's other things that are happening. And then there was a lot of COVID related issues, being 6 foot at distance, wearing a mask, things of that nature. And then there was demand all on top of this, mainly from China. So Discus Edition, it's actually more than $13,000. It's around $20,000 to $23,000, depending on which shipping company or logistics company you're using. This is our aquariums. Now, granted, I work for Siche. Siche is solely based out of Italy. We have our own raw materials. Really, the only issue that we see, and I don't even call it an issue because it's not our fault. It's when it gets to port. And I'll get to that in a second. But whiskey and Coke life is good. So you're looking at that $100 aquarium, right? Now let's say they're buying from distribution because that aquarium store doesn't have the buying power to buy directly from China, right? So that aquarium store is buying from distribution, and distribution is potentially bringing in that 40-foot container solely by themselves, or they're bringing in product from the manufacturer. Either way, if that product is coming from China, a lot of product in the aquarium industry, not Siche, because we're from Italia, baby, it's going to cause a price increase. And that price increase could be anything. It really could be anything. It could be 15%, it could be 30%, it could be 25%. It all depends on shipping and the cost of raw goods, because if you're assembling it in the United States, but you're purchasing all your raw goods overseas, which is what a lot happens in today's world, to include pretty much everything, the automotive industry, lawnmowers, paint, things. Look, folks, the prices are going up, and they're going to probably go up another, I'm guessing, 15 to 20%. Which is crazy. And we can do something about it per se, but we can't really change its trajectory. According to logistics companies, we're not looking for a decrease till about 2023, because that's when enough shipping space containers will be manufactured and then putting itself back into, I don't know, play. I took some notes. That's when it will level out. Discus Addiction said, I've got a container sitting out there now with a large price tag on it. Yeah. So now, folks, I'm going to make up a name. Jay Wilson's distribution is buying glass. I'm going to make aquariums. Now it costs me $20,000 where it used to cost me about $4,000. And I'm speaking in generalities. So now it gets to me, but it's in the port, right? Now the port has to go through and inspect a lot of this stuff. Now we have to wait on more human beings, more logistics to get this stuff inspected, released, and then put onto a truck. And then the truck needs to bring it to your location. Folks, it is absolutely going to be insane. It's going to be insane. Ted's Fishroom said, I said decrease. I believe there will be a deflation of what has happened, right? I believe it's not going back to normal. There's no question, but there definitely is going to be a deflation of this massive inflation. And I really believe that it was, and this is me speaking from a rational standpoint, because that's all I can do right now. Sean Squill or Squill, but Sean said he's having trouble finding large aquariums in New York, but when he does find them, they're extremely expensive. That's true, because a lot of the manufacturers are not manufacturing them themselves. They're getting them from China pre-made. They're putting them on a container and then they're bringing them to the United States. Well, it's costing way too much and they're struggling to fit it on. So the rationale I think is happening is a lot of folks realized that they can charge more because there was a demand. And they felt that they would make more money by adding all of these extra ditties. I'm calling them ditties. They're all of these price increases, taxes, and then the small political stuff that would be tariffs and things of that nature. Look, it's all circumnavigating, and we don't know 100% of it. But what I can say is I believe the design of the increase was to help facilitate goods that people could afford, and they could take money now instead of that 30-day roll. Because what a lot of you folks don't realize is you can go into an aquarium store. Most aquarium stores are buying that product from distribution, and they may have a term before they need to pay it. Oh my goodness. So now these distribution companies are fronting all this money, and distribution doesn't technically make the most money. It's supposed to be divvied up through the grapevine, right? And it's very, very hard to really figure it out. So how we fix this? We don't. What we can do at our local fish store level is not bust their chops as much. I don't own a local fish store. I go into a lot of them. Some of them are more successful than others. That's just business. That's just the way this whole thing happens. But what I do know is we got to cut them a little bit of slack. Now, they can do a little bit better by buying goods that are maybe a little bit more expensive, that are manufactured, and all of the goods are done here in the United States or at a closer location. It doesn't have to be CJ, but at a closer location. When you start getting into a lot of Chinese-made brands, it becomes very difficult. There's lighting manufacturers on the saltwater side that have went up 25% that are already $800+ a pop. Now they went up 25%. Because of the cost of their raw goods, but they're assembled in the United States. So there is a lot that plays into this. Look, if you're in the aquarium industry, hobby, you should probably start looking to custom aquarium manufacturers that maybe have glass on hand, that may be able to be flexible with the blow. I haven't seen a huge price increase from the normal glass manufacturers that I know of. Now, everybody's had to have a price increase in order to keep business going, because you have to. You can't, let's say, oh, I got 100% increase. Now, the idea is you're not going to pass on 100% of that increase if you're a good business. So there's just a lot that is happening in the aquarium industry right now, and it's not going to stop. So the idea would probably be start buying local, start getting some dry goods from your local fish store that does a good job of sourcing locally, or you source locally, because it's getting crazy. But yeah, I just don't think a lot of folks pay attention to that. I don't think they know that. You know, I was talking to Ted's Fish Room, and you know, if you looked at my Tanganyika tank, most of those rocks, well, are artificial from Universal Rocks. And then the rocks that were real in there were pulled from like the side of the road. And they did really well. I still have them, all of them, as a matter of fact. And once I get my aquarium at the end of the month, I'll be using those rocks to rescape. So that's helping me save quite a bit of money. Anyone notice the fish food storage? Ooh, Mando's upset. Fish food is going to go up because everything's going up. It is the nature of the beast. I don't want to stay on this topic, but we can fix it by being a little bit more resourceful. We can fix it by temporarily not being so disgusting to our local fish stores. We can go in there and we can give them a little bit of slack because honestly, they're human beings. They're not billionaires. You know, maybe some are millionaires. That is what it is. But you still shop at Walmart. You still shop at Target. You still shop at Amazon. You still shop at all these other places. You don't give them a hard time. So when you look at these businesses, although they may be big to you, maybe they're not so big. And maybe we should be a little bit more lenient on, hey, man, you want to cut me a deal, maybe 5%? You know, 5% to you may not be a lot, but 5% to that store on that specific product may be putting them in the red. You don't know that. And the store's not going to sit there and talk to you about it. They're either going to say no, or they don't want to lose the sale because they'd rather have the money because they know they've got maybe 30, 45 days, or maybe they got 2 weeks with their distributor. It's crazy, man. And then Joe, praise the workers that show up. And I'm talking workers that are really working. I like Burger King. Liam's likes Burger King. We don't eat it every day. We go to the local Burger King over here, and I asked them when they were going to open their restaurant part because Liam doesn't like taking the food home. He likes the experience. And honestly, they were never closed. They were only closed because they didn't have enough employees. It's insane. We live in Oklahoma. It's insane. I mean, Burger King is paying quite a bit of money. 7-Eleven pays quite a bit of money. McDonald's pays quite a bit of money, especially here in Oklahoma. So it's, I don't know. There's not just one lane that can fix this. We can fix it by wanting less and lowering demand. That may hurt some retailers, but it's the only way on a macro level. But at the end of the day, the need and want is still going to be there. I think what we have to do is shift our focus on what we really need and what we really want. Like, you know, aquariums. We need the aquarium, but the rocks and the wood, can we utilize wood from another location? I believe you can. Can we get fish from a place that is sourcing them or breeding them themselves and they don't necessarily have all of those incurred costs? Matter of fact, I saw somebody ask, and this will blow your mind, and I don't know if this is true, but this is what they said. I don't know if you've ever heard of the company Algae Barn, but somebody asked, hey, how much does it cost a local fish store in electric? Algae Barn, an online retailer of some things, said that their bill runs an average of $10,000 a month. And we want coupons. We want nickel and dimes. We want all of this extra action. Why? Why? We got to give them a little bit of love. You can ask a few more questions. I'd really like to answer some of them, maybe your thoughts on this, but it is crazy. Food shortage. Yeah, I mean, I always stock up and put it in the fridge, but I've got a saltwater tank behind me. It is an Aquaforest 605. It means 605 liters. I think it's 160 gallons. But got the sump underneath. The rock work, of course, is by my family, Carib Sea. And we got a lot of work to do on this. But I'm leaving Wednesday. If you're in South Carolina, in Greenville, like right outside Greenville, there's like this one-day aquarium expo in Simpsonville. It'd be awesome to see you there. Come check it out. I think it's like, I don't know, 11/5 or something. Let's see. Sourcing local can solve supply issue unless the demand is for something that cannot be gotten local. Absolutely, Ted. So, you know, a lot of the stone comes from Asia. That's a heavy container. Maybe take a big boulder outside and chisel away at it. Hey, babe, I'm going outside to chisel an aquarium rock. I don't know. Maybe it'll be good for your health. Maybe we should get outside, go hunting for rock and scape, moss, things like that to put in your aquarium, your paludarium. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. I've tried to take my father out to lunch today for his 73rd birthday. 3 restaurants with signs on the doors had closed due to staffing shortages. Tip well, be kind, and be patient. Yeah, I mean, be a human being. I mean, that's the moral of this, right? It's not about being kind. That shouldn't even be something we have to say. Be polite, be professional. It should be something that we are talking about all the time. I've been debating on going to the show this weekend. South Carolina, Catahoulas. I'll be there if that's worth anything to you. When I get back, I'm going to plumb this bad boy. I've got a sick, nasty paludarium in the Aqua Lounge, glass box lounge from Ivy Rose, Rough Ivy Rose. I don't know if that's the same one, but hello, fishy lady, or maybe soon to be fishy lady. So lots is transpiring in the industry, in the hobby, in my life, in my household, and in your life. If you're interested, Monday, Sunday, and Thursday, I got videos popping off. I'll be in South Carolina and North Carolina this week till Sunday. Disney, November. I've got one more trip I need to plan. I've got Aquashella Halloween weekend in Dallas. That's going to be insane. Custom Aquariums is shipping me another aquarium at the end of this month, and then I'm picking one up at the end of October. It is exciting. I'm putting that AC in. I've got this thing rocking. I've got a new camera that I need to figure out because it keeps shutting off. I've got a new microphone. Oh, yeah. It's insane. Liam's into Halo. I had to sell the PlayStation so that I could buy the Xbox because Liam wanted Halo, and really the only other thing that he played was Borderlands and Battlefront, and we can get those on the Xbox. In North Carolina, I'm going to Kernersville, and then I'll be headed south. I'll be in Raleigh. No, I won't be in Raleigh. I'll be in Charlotte, which is, I don't believe, North Carolina, South Carolina. And then on to Greenville, but I'm flying into Greenville. Got all the suction cups I need, courtesy of Ted's Fish Room. Ted Judy is an amazing person. So, folks, so the Xbox hasn't been hard. There's a ton at our Walmart. There's a ton at our Target. There was one at our GameStop. Finding the right controller that Liam wanted was hard. Yeah, Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't even know. Look, life is up sometimes. It'll throw you curveballs. It'll throw you knuckleballs. It'll throw you a fastball and you will strike out. Life just has this way of putting what we feel is inconvenient right in our path when we typically have the most energy. What I can tell you is you will get through it, and you have to get through it. We can make all the excuses in the world of why whatever is in front of us is the most difficult situation that we've ever been in. But what I challenge you to do is in that moment, stop. Think about the last time you said that, because I can promise you, I really can promise you that that is not the first time that you had said, this is the hardest thing that I am ever going to have to do. I can promise you that. But how did you get through that last thing? You pulled up your pants a little bit. You used some fortitude, perseverance. It was persistent, and you got through. It's hard. I'm telling you. Maybe sometimes it doesn't look like I've been through hardships, but I have. I had some things that, I've been through a divorce. I've been through times where I couldn't see my son. I'm still restricted in the amount of times that I can see my son. I lost my father. I walked in and saw my father dead laying in a bed. I watched my mom go through drug addiction after drug addiction and almost kill herself. I've watched my dad go through drug addiction, had been in a rehab facility. I watched my brother go through so many different things. I've been deployed and in situations where I didn't think legitimately I was going to go home alive. I've been in situations where financially I thought I put myself in the best situation and the lights were about to be turned off. I've always learned one thing. My dad used to tell me, where there's a will, there's a way. And although I've stressed and I've panicked, there's always a way to surpass or get around or get through or get over whatever it is you are struggling with. I don't care if it's financial. I don't care if it's relationship-wise. I don't care if it's you and your best friend are arguing about politics. You can get through whatever it is. Sometimes it requires a lot more effort than what you want to give out because you're hoping for a freebie. You're hoping maybe somebody will give you a little extra so that you can get through what it is. But I can promise you, if it's money you need, there is jobs galore. And sometimes it takes a little bit more effort and a little bit less sleep, but it's not permanent. It's not permanent. Spend more time with family. Tell people you love them more. Go to bed a little bit earlier. Wake up a little bit more refreshed. Drink some more whiskey and Coke every once in a while. Not too much. Pound it back with some water. But more importantly, enjoy time with family and friends, which is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go finish putting together the grill with Wendy and cook her a steak on some charcoal and then figure out how to use the smoker. Stay tuned for a video on Thursday, Aquarium Uncut, episode 2 of what's really happening with everything that's happening. And then there's going to be a cool video on how we got that rock to stay the way it did from Seachem. This company, add water, we'll do the rest. Folks, it's a sheer pleasure. I know it's hard to keep up with me. What store in Charlotte? All the stores in Charlotte. The fish room in Charlotte, all of them. But more importantly, I want you to go and enjoy yourself. Smile. Take a deep breath. The world you may think is in chaotic, turmoil. The world's just smaller based on social media. Are you a lump or briquette griller? I'm a briquette griller. I am going to try out some wood chips, though. I've got an offset smoker with it. But I appreciate you taking the time. Do me a favor, watch last Sunday's video. Share this video. I greatly appreciate it. I do feel like I put a lot into this, and sometimes you don't feel like you're getting as much out of it. But when I get to talk to however many folks are in here, it's awesome. Bang, look at that Lego guy. All right, folks, it's been real. Buy local if you can. Enjoy your local fish store. Don't be such a jerk out there. Have a little bit more patience. Persevere with some persistence. And remember, we bend, we don't break. We don't break. You know what's next. Holla!